Spay Day, the Humane Society and others are reminding you to spay and neuter your pets.
Kelly Savage is live at the Oxford Humane Society for the latest. But first, we've got severe weather throughout our state.
The governor has declared a state of emergency for South Mississippi because a line of intense thunderstorms are expected tonight. Though we're only going to get rain, all of the counties in South Mississippi are under tornado watches.
Storm Watch's Abbie McIntosh joins us with the latest in this weather update. Abbie?
Shelby, all of the coastal counties closed schools early today because of the intense weather expected. Let's take a look at the radar for South Mississippi. There is rain moving in right now, but the severe storms will come in the next few hours. The National Weather Service has warned all residents of South Mississippi to be prepared to take shelter if severe thunderstorms or tornadoes are spotted. A state of emergency means that local governments can ask for assistance with recovery and cleanups if severe storms touch down. Harrison County, where Gulfport and Biloxi are located, has opened shelters for people who don't have ways to protect themselves. We will see some thunderstorms here in Oxford later tonight. I'll be back with my complete forecast later in the show.
Thanks, Abby. While we try to stay dry here over at the Humane Society, we're reminded of the importance of spaying and neutering your furry little friends.
Kelly Savage joins us live from the Humane Society to tell us how National Spay Day is being observed here in Oxford.
The Ole Miss
I probably couldn't say enough about spaying and neutering your pets. That's kind of our platform here at the shelter, or our soapbox, whatever you want to call it. The majority of the animals that we get in come from unwanted litters of puppies and kittens. We're on the verge of puppy and kitten season right now, it being the end of February, the beginning of March. This is when our biggest intake happens at the shelter.
Go. Hi guys, I'm here with Farah, one of the adorable residents here at the Oxford Lafayette Humane Society. Today is National Spay Day, which animal shelters like this one hope to promote spaying and neutering amongst pet owners. Earlier, I spoke with Executive Director of the shelter, and she told me all about why spaying and neutering is so important, especially in communities like ours.
The Ole Miss community continues to remember the life of Ty Laporte, a volleyball and track star who tragically lost her life in a car accident 2 weeks ago. Hundreds gathered for a memorial service at the Ole Miss Pavilion to listen to kind words from coaches and teammates and think back on Laporte's memories on and off the court. Athletic Director Ross Bjork noted her as the quintessential rebel as she ran towards life. Volleyball coach Stephen McRoberts wrote an original poem to tribute the life of his former player. Can you think of 100 things to do before you graduate? ASB wants your input to create a to-do list. Leah Gibson reports.
Director of Student Life for ASB, Terrius Harris, has checked the current submissions for the ASB Bucket List Initiative each day since the link was released.
So essentially it's called the Ole Miss Bucket List, 100 Things to Do Before You Graduate. And the idea behind it is that it's not only created by the students, but it's supported by our administration and becomes a part of the tradition and legacy of Ole Miss that we can leave behind for every freshman that comes through so they can complete these 100 things before they graduate.
One of my favorite ideas that I submitted was attending an away football game at least once, just because going to another campus, especially an SEC school, it's really neat to see how our traditions are similar and how they're very different at the same time. And it's always fun to see the Rebels beat someone like Alabama on their home turf.
I'm standing right beside the stairs that lead to the very top of the library. This activity is one of many on the unofficial bucket list for Ole Miss freshmen. I talked to a lot of students around campus, and here are their thoughts on the new bucket list hosted by ASB.
Well, there's not an official Ole Miss bucket list right now. There is kind of an agreed bucket list that people kind of, tell each other, like swimming the Fine U Mountain or sneaking to the football stadium, but those aren't really great things to be doing at Ole Miss. We want to promote a bucket list that promotes inclusivity with each other and identity with the university.
I mean, honestly, I think they'll welcome it with open arms. It just needs to be promoted better. Like I said, it's always been this type of myth type thing. It wasn't anything that just was on paper or anything, but with ASB coming in, it makes it more structured, and it's more of things that the university approves of.
Today, daily edition, and you scroll down and keep going.
Student Life Committee members agree with Herrick's suggestions for more promotion. They will have whiteboards set up in front of the union in days to come.
details, and then once you get there, there's a link there. It's a Google form, and you click that.
Leah Gibson, NewsWatch.
The Ole Miss community is celebrating their success at Rebelthon. The fundraiser was held consistently from Friday at 6 p.m. to Saturday at 6 a.m. Their goal for the night was $60,000. However, students and community members raised over $112,000 for the Blair E. Bates Hospital in Jackson. The Blair E. Batson Hospital is committed to the treatment of sick and injured children and teenagers. Well, it's back to business for the NAACP student chapter. Last week, they kicked off their first Activism 101 Collective Liberation Workshop at Bryant Hall. Amani Flowers reports.
On Wednesday night, the NAACP student chapter held their first Activism 101 workshop in Bryant Hall. After coming off being awarded the Chairman Award for their Take Down the Flag campaign last semester, the organization focused on some new activity.
We're all connected in some shape or form by our struggles.
Well, I feel like there was a lot of useful tools and different things that they went over today in the workshop. I really feel like the most important thing that I learned was to call them in and not out, because they could help dissolve a lot of problems, a lot of different conflicting views if we just take the time out and try to find some type of mutual ground. So I really feel like that was a very helpful tip that they gave to the audience, and I really feel I can use that throughout life.
The workshop focused on their new collaboration project with USAS, United Students Against Sweatshops, an organization that also focuses on collective liberation.
Oppression, you have to deal with other people's oppression, and you keep in mind intersectionality when it comes to the different oppressions and privileges that people go through. To be a collective, you have to keep these things in mind. That different people go through different things depending on their different identities.
Rather than calling them out, because that's what builds your coalition. That's what makes people say dang, I can learn something from these folks.
Liberation is essentially the idea that if one group of people is not free or one group of people is facing oppression, then we are all collectively facing oppression. And that in order for us to get past some of the things that we deal with, we all have to attack the same systems that create the oppressions that manifest in our own lives.
For more information on how to become a member of the USAS organization, go to usas.org. Thank you. For NewsWatch, this is Imani Flowers.
Double Decker is just around the corner, and the official music lineup is out. Plus, a new state flag, the granddaughter of a former senator, has a new design. Stick around, there's more NewsWatch after this.
Good evening, everybody. It has been a cold, wet, windy, just miserable day outside today, and it looks like this yucky weather is going to continue at least for the next 24 hours. Currently, it is 52 degrees with a little bit of rain out there, but today we it's been in between with the rain. It hasn't really stopped raining, but we haven't seen anything really too heavy, so we've kind of been stuck in the middle, and it looks like this kind of rain is going to continue at least through tomorrow. Looking at our satellite image, this blue blob, I guess you could say, in the southern part of the state is where a majority of the heavy to severe rain is, and that is all due to a warm front meeting up with the cold front. And whenever you have cold air and warm air mixed together, it is the perfect ingredients for severe weather. We do have tornado watches in effect for the southern parts of the state until 10 p.m., but thankfully we will not be seeing any severe weather, at least in our part of the region. Looking at our current temperatures across the region, we are in the 50s. South Haven, Oxford, and Holly Springs are at 52. Corinth at 56, while Tupelo is the warmest at 59 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow's temperatures, we're going to be about 10 degrees colder than we were today in the 40s. South Haven will be at 48, Holly Springs and Oxford at 45, Corinth at 46, while Tupelo will be a little bit warmer at 47 degrees. Taking a look at tonight's forecast, we're only going to cool down to about 41 degrees. The scattered thunderstorms will continue, but they will not be anything severe. Winds will be out of the southeast to southwest to 15-25 miles an hour, and there is a 100% chance of rain, so do make sure that if you are out and about tonight, you grab the umbrella, rain jacket, rain boots, whatever you need in case you get caught in the rain. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, we're only going to warm up to about 45 degrees, so really not a big temperature change between tonight and tomorrow. It will be windy with light to moderate showers. Winds will be gusty out of the northeast at 25 to 35 miles per hour. I wouldn't be surprised if we even see gusts in the 40s tomorrow. Precipitation chance is 60%, so do make sure that you have the umbrella, rain jacket, whatever you need in case you get caught in the rain. Taking a look at our extended 5-day forecast, really we just have to get through tomorrow, and then the sun returns on Thursday, and then going into the weekend, temperatures increase, the sun continues, but then going into early parts of next week, our rain chances do go up, but if it does rain, it won't be anything severe.
I'm glad we have a few days at least, if it doesn't rain, for beautiful skies, and we can really enjoy the springtime weather in February.
Yeah, it will be a really pretty weekend.
I really hope so. Thanks. With the bad weather rolling in, David Kennedy will tell us how the rain could impact Ole Miss's sports. We'll be right back.
Your heart's racing. You can feel every beat. If you have any sort of negative thought, you're going to have a negative result.
It all kind of centers in on that
Your heart rate starts
You
getting
can't let the
lower,
little things get to
working
you.
on your confidence.
And you just
So one of the
have to
things
learn
I
to block
found
it out.
for me is focusing on my breathing.
It's important. You kind of forget about everything that you just done.
Calm your heart rate down. Slow everything down. Control your movement. And take the shot.
Welcome to Rebel Watch. I'm David Kennedy. Today's Ole Miss baseball game against Arkansas State has been rescheduled due to inclement weather. The 21-ranked Rebs will take on the 2-1 Red Wolves tomorrow and hope to extend their winning streak to 4. Fans were surprised over the weekend when the baseball team came out in powder blue uniforms instead of their Sunday pinstripes. It turns out the players were surprised too. NewsWatch reporter Victoria Lanza reports on the reactions of students and fans.
Ole Miss baseball players got quite the surprise this Sunday when starting pitcher Sean Johnson came into the team meeting not dressed in pinstripes, but in powder blues. The uniforms immediately became a social media sensation. While some people had positive feedback, others were not so sure, leaving comments like, "I hate them," and "Stevie Wonder wore it better." I'm here at Swayze Field, where on Sunday, the baseball team debuted their brand new powder blue uniforms. Now, these uniforms have been quite the hot topic both on social media and around campus. I got a chance to catch up with students and see what they think about these uniforms.
I really love it. It makes me think a lot of St. Louis Cardinals, Ozzie Smith era type round. You know, it seems like, they wanted to bring powder blue back. It's really cool that they started it off in football and now they're bringing it towards baseball.
I like them. I think they look good. I think it's something different because we've wore the same uniforms for so long, and something different's always good.
Many students felt that Ole Miss took a gamble with the new uniforms, and it paid off.
Ole Miss is good with tradition. They really are. But there's a time and place where tradition can just be thrown to the side. If it's just for one game, or if they bring it out every now and then, that's fine.
Weird to have to stick with that tradition because there's a bunch of new stuff that looks good too, even though the old stuff does look good.
The question now is, are the powder blues here to stay, or are they just a trend?
In regards to powder blues, I think that it's here to stay. It just depends. I honestly don't think it's going to be a fad.
I figure they'll just wear it every, maybe 3 or 4 times a year, probably. And that's good because you don't want to overdo it.
Whether or not the powder blues will be back and when they will be back remains a mystery. Victoria Lanza, NewsWatch Ole Miss.
Now, when will the Rebels wear the powder blues again? The pitching staff hasn't made the decision on that one yet, but expect them to make a return soon and eventually make their way onto store shelves. Taking it to the court, the Ole Miss basketball team will take on the Missouri Tigers tonight at the Pavilion at 8 p.m. The Rebels hold a winning record of 17-10, but have been average in SEC play this season with a 500 record of 7-7. Meanwhile, the Tigers have had a season to forget with a record of 10-17. As of right now, Ole Miss will probably not be selected to go to the NCAA tournament. If they lose tonight, they can for sure kiss any hope of playing in March Madness goodbye. In all-time meetings between the two programs, the Rebels lead the series 5-1. The last time the two teams played was February 3rd when the Rebels snuck out a win 76-73. Former Ole Miss star defensive end Greg Hardy might still wear the blue star in Dallas come fall. Despite previous reports, Dallas Cowboy president Stephen Jones says that the plans are still not finalized regarding Hardy's future with the team. Hardy missed almost all of the 2014 season and the first 4 games of the 2015 season while serving a suspension following a domestic violence incident. In 12 games with the Cowboys last year, Hardy recorded 6 sacks, 35 tackles, and 1 interception. Hardy is currently taking classes this semester at Ole Miss and hopes to land back with an NFL team come this fall. That's all the time we have for you for sports today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at rebel_watch and to stay up to date on all Ole Miss sports and local high school sports news. Be sure to tune in Friday at 3 p.m. for our all sports show. NewsWatch will be right back.
Basketball is my sport.
Baseball is my sport.
Softball is my sport.
Football is my sport. Excelling in the classroom is my job.
Your time in the classroom is important.
Make it count.
Make it count.
Make it count. Make it count. Go to class.
Go to class.
We excel on the court and in the classroom. You're here for a reason.
Prepare yourself.
Prepare yourself. Go to class. Be a rebel. Be a rebel. Be a rebel. Go to class.
Go to class.
Go to class. Just go to class.
Por favor, ve a clase. It's simple. Just go to class.
Don't be a knucklehead. Go to class.
Era un niño que era muy sensible a luces y sonidos. Construía escondites donde no podían entrar. No le gustaba mirar a la gente a los ojos. Lo hacía sentir incómodo. Un día se descubrió que tenía autismo. Con ayuda, poco a poco, aprendió a vivir mejor con ello.
Mientras más pronto se diagnostique, mejor. Conoce las señales en autismspeaks.org.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
A British doctor can now tentatively call himself a veterinarian. Dr. David Cahill performed a rare C-section on a gorilla at the Bristol Zoo in England. Cahill is a professor at the local university along with being a doctor at St. Michael's Hospital.
Although he's delivered countless human infants, this is Cahill's first C-section on an animal. This is also the first cesarean procedure that has been performed at the zoo. Only a handful of gorillas in the world have ever undergone this operation.
Cahill considers the experience one of the biggest achievements in his life and one that he will never forget.
Well, that's our show. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at NewsWatch_UM for the latest updates on the go. I'm Shelby Sansone.
And I'm Meredith Parker. Thank you for joining us. Good night.